Hello everyone, welcome to Tuesday Tea Time. I am in Odmira, Portugal this week and having a wonderful time. Great group of students, great group of horses, some really fun insights that I'm working on for my own personal learning adventure. And I just remembered the time difference as I was walking out of the house. And so I did a quick scramble and I'm here for tea time. So thank you guys for joining me, those of you who are here and those of you who will watch this later on the replay. So I had a really fun experience this afternoon that I thought I would talk about. And this is something that I teach in all my clinics. But sometimes it just works out that the horses teach it even better than I do. And that's really a fun experience. Hey, Joe, welcome to tea time. So usually in a clinic, every person has different comfort levels with how much closeness they want, how much push feels like playfulness, and how much push feels like overwhelming or a little bit of fight. And every participant in the clinic is going to feel a little bit differently about this. And horses don't know that. These are often new relationships when I do a workshop type organization, as we did the last 2 days. So my participants, for the most part, didn't know the horses very well, and the horses didn't know the participants. So one of the things that I teach is if a horse pushes into your space in any way that makes you uncomfortable, you simply walk past them. Often you have to put your hand on them and run your hand down their back as you walk past them so that you're disengaging from them on the way. If you have a horse that is particularly needy, you might need to keep your eyes on them as you pass by them. But there's a number of ways to do it. But basically, the idea is when a horse pushes into you too much, you just simply walk past the problem, circle around, and start the conversation with them again. So this is a pretty simple concept. I've been teaching it for a while. A lot of people are pretty good at it. It's really fun when you see the horses start to analyze what is or is not appropriate for each human. And so we had a really fun experience this afternoon where Hope, who's one of the horses here at Sundance Ranch, she's one that has featured in a couple of my Patreon videos. She really is an excellent teacher. And Hope came by a student and she wanted to take that student for a walk, and she bumped the student on the way by with her shoulder. Now, this is the kind of bump that I've seen Hope do before, and many people kind of like it. It kind of feels like a fun invitation, and they just fall into a walk with her. So Hope thought it was a perfectly acceptable way to invite a human for a walk. But the human she was with didn't particularly like it, so she just walked past it, circled around, and started the conversation again. They did a few other things. They played with the barrel, they looked at some things, they exercised some curiosity, and then a little while later, Hope again offered that same student to take a walk, but this time she was more careful, and she yielded around the student and carefully picked them up and took them for a walk. And that is a really fun experience. When you see that if the horse has a behavior that's too pushy for you, too big for you, you just walk past it, circle around, and start again. And the next time, they're going to soften that. And they're just going to see if they can engage you in a way where you don't leave. It's a really, really simple thing, and I teach it a lot of times, but it was just so exciting to me to see how Hope really showed how she read this. She understood it. She could adapt to a new person's comfort level. And this is something that not just Hope can do. All horses can do this. All of them may not be quite as quick as Hope. Hope is a pretty smart, quick study. So Some horses may need a few more repetitions where you pass them and you let them know that's a little too much push, not quite enough yield. And you're going to find that each time you pass them, they consider it. And then over time, they get more and more careful to work around you in a way that keeps you with them as a partner. Now, obviously, you have to be doing all the other things that we talk about too, which is having really good feel and timing, knowing when to change position, knowing when to be in harmony, when not to be in harmony. These are all things that horses need as information from you. They don't know your likes and your dislikes until you tell them. So when you can explain to the horse what your likes and your dislikes are, this is something that horses will adapt to. They're herd creatures. They want to be with you. Now, probably some of you are saying, well, not all horses want to be with you. That's true. You know, I had an experience this morning. I'm doing this really fun thing. I'm calling it speed dating with horses. So there's quite a few horses here, and I'm here for a week. And I'm doing a little bit of a session with each horse to see how quickly I can get to know them. And some of them are really easy for me, and some of them are not that interested in me. And I'm having to really take a deep breath, not take it personally, and see what's possible between us, even if they're not interested in me. And it's been really fun. It's been good exercise for my ego. Not everybody likes me when they first meet me. But how do I interact with them in a way that's a positive experience between us, whether we have a natural affinity for each other or not? And if you give me enough time, I can probably win them over. But it's really kind of fun to play with this idea that every horse and every human has their likes and their dislikes. And if we can explain to the horse through our body language what our likes and our dislikes are, and we listen to them through feel and timing and watching their varying levels of comfort and curiosity and concern, then we get to know them and they get to know us. And from that place, the better you know each other, the easier it is to build that bond between each other. So it's been really fun. The last 2 days of workshop, we're going into clinic now, where we're going to really study each horse a little more in depth. And I'm looking forward to seeing, how the humans adapt to the horses, but also how the horses adapt to the humans, and where that meeting ground is between horse and human. So I'm looking forward to it. For any of you guys that, want to know more about this, I teach an 8-week online course. I do have a course starting up in about a week. So I think I've got one more student place open. If you're interested, email me, elsa@tamingwild.com. And if you just are curious about what this is, I have the first class free online. It's called Freedom-Based Training 101. So you can look that up. It's on YouTube. You can also find the link on my website at tamingwild.com. And I'm going to be touring all year this year. So it'll be about 3 weeks at home for me and about 3 weeks travel. You can find my clinic schedule on the website as well. I love this work. I love this work more than anything I've done in my life. I joke that everywhere I teach, I hope I get invited back, but it's not really the people. I mean, I hope you guys like me, but it's really the horses. I do this for the horses. If the horses would invite me back, I'm doing something right. So I'm going to keep doing this and seeing if I can keep educating the adaptability of people and the adaptability of horses, and how we get them to meet in the middle. And if I get to see you somewhere on tour, or I get to work with you in the online course, or meet you through my Patreon group, any of those things are good. I love the community. So thank you everyone who joined me for tea time. Those are my thoughts for the day. Hi Joyce, good to see you here. And I will look forward to seeing you along the path.